Hello you guys, welcome to today's video. I am so excited about this DIY. Oh my goodness, I'm pretty sure this is probably one of my favorite projects that I've ever made, and I'm so excited with how it turned out. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. If you guys have been subscribed to me for a while, you know that I like to make a lot of things out of poster board and foam board. Well, this is no exception. So I saw this thing on Kohl. I went on Kohls.com, just kind of perusing their little Christmas section. They've got some really cute stuff. And I came across this and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I wonder if I could make that. So I was like, I wonder what I could make these houses out of. Poster board. So I decided to go through my little craft area and see what I already had on hand. And I actually had pretty much everything. The only things I had to go out and buy were the lights, which I had some lights here I probably could have used, but I went out and grabbed some lights from the dollar store, and then I didn't have any glitter snow. I checked the dollar store, they didn't have any. I checked my grocery store, they didn't have any. Hopefully you guys have a lot of these same items at home and you could recreate it as well. So if you guys are new, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button so you can stick around and see my other DIYs. And thank you so much to everyone that watched my last Dollar Tree foil tray DIY. Like, the views on that video have completely blown me away, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's kind of crazy to think that that many people have watched one of my videos. It's kind of scary. Anyways, all right, let's get into this. I hope you guys enjoy. So the first thing I did was got my poster board out, and this wasn't even a fresh piece of poster board. This was just some that I had left over, and I was able to make everything with it. And I just made a little template for the houses. So I was going to make 2 of the big houses and then 1 smaller one. And so what I did was just trace these all out, and then I cut them out. And for the smaller one, I actually did the same size. I just made it a little bit smaller. Like when I cut it, I just cut it out smaller. And then once you get all of these, you're going to need to make the sides of the houses. And those are just, I kind of just measured the side of that template to see how like tall I needed it to be. And then I just kind of drew it out. I just freehanded it. So I made sure that I had 4 of those as well. And then for the smaller ones, I just cut those a little bit smaller as well. So once you have all of the pieces you need, you're going to need 4 of the big ones, 4 sides, and then 2 of the smaller ones, and then 2 sides for that one. So it's going to be a total of 3 houses. Next, for the roof, this was kind of a tricky part for me. I could not figure out how the heck to measure it. So the first one that I drew out was definitely way too small. It was too short. So after I cut it out, I tried it on there and it was way too small. So what I did was I just kind of traced it again and made it a little bit bigger. And that one ended up being good, but I had to cut it a little bit because it hung over a little too far. So DIYs are all about trial and error. I say that all the time. Like, I'm really bad about measuring stuff out. So I just kind of trial and error it and keep working on it till I get it right. All right, for this next part, I'm going to draw out the little doors and windows, and I'm going to tell you guys I did not use a ruler. I just freehanded it, so these are not going to be perfect by any means, but I kind of like how they're a little bit crooked in the end because it gives them a little character. So, I mean, if you guys are perfectionists, you can go ahead and use a ruler or something straight, but I think these turned out super cute, so just beware, they're not perfect. And then once I had those all traced out, I just went ahead and used my X-Acto knife and cut everything out. And now I'm going to start painting. So these are the colors that I had on hand. I had a red, green, and white. The red, it was almost more of like a berry color. So I'm going to do 1 red house, 1 green, and 1 white. And when I started painting this red one, it was almost like, well, it was called berry red. I mean, whatever. But I was thinking it was a little too pinky. So what I did was I mixed a little bit of black, and that kind of made it too dark. So I ended up having to do about 3 coats on this one to get it the color that I wanted, because after I did this black, I actually went back in with just the regular color, and it turned out to be a red that I could live with. So I just went ahead and painted the green and the white house as well. The green came out a little light because my paintbrush was wet, so I had to do about 3 coats to get it to the green color that I wanted. And the white, I only did 1 coat because, well, the poster board was white, so I really didn't need more than that. Now I'm going to start putting the little houses together. So what I did was I took the two sides and I just kind of folded them in, and then I'm going to glue those to the front and the back of the house. So I felt that this was going to be easier and keep it a little more sturdy rather than not folding it. So yeah, just fold in the little sides and then glue it right on there. And then you're just going to do the same with the roof. I just kind of put the glue on the top of the house and then stuck it right on there. And then once you get it on there, you can kind of put glue on the sides and just to get it reinforced so that it's not going to fall off. Oh, and this part I had in my mind that I was going to do, and once I started putting the house together, I totally forgot. But I'm taking some tissue paper and I'm going to glue it on the inside of the house so that when you put the lights in there, you don't just see the lights, you're going to see nothing. So the tissue paper is just going to make it look a lot nicer so that you don't see the lights inside of the house. And then for the other ones, I did go ahead and do it before I glued them together because I actually remembered this time. So yeah, you're just going to take some tissue paper, glue it down, and then I just cut off the sides that were hanging over. And then you're just going to repeat the steps for the green and the red house. Just glue them all together. I didn't show myself doing the green one because I didn't want the video to get too repetitive for you guys. And then once I got the houses all together, I started thinking, how the heck am I going to put the lights in here? So I decided to cut a little slit in the back so that I could put the little lights in there, and because there was not going to be any way that I could put them underneath or through the top. So I thought a little slit on the back would be perfect. And then I just went ahead and glued on the roof for the other ones as well. All right, now we're going to work on the base. I am taking this little gather sign from Dollar Tree. If you guys are familiar with these, you know that they're not completely solid wood. They're open in the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking this wood contact paper that is also from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to go ahead and cover it with that so that it looks like wood. And I'm going to, so the part that's open is actually going to be the very bottom. So this worked out like perfect. I didn't know what I was going to use as the base, but this actually ended up working out really well. Then once you've gotten the contact paper all down, you just kind of wrap it up like it's a present. And then I'm just taking my glue gun and gluing down parts of it just so that it doesn't come up. But it actually seems to lay down pretty well. And then if I had any excess pieces on the edges, I just took my X-Acto knife and cut those right off. For the last touch on this, I'm taking my Waverly brown color and I'm just going to kind of stain it a little bit. My foam brush is wet, so I'm trying to do a little stain just so that the wood looks a little more realistic, because sometimes it doesn't look very realistic when it's just the contact paper. But I thought this gave it a really nice touch. All right, guys, don't judge me on this part. I am writing in All Is Calm by freehand, and if I had a Cricut, I would totally use that. I didn't really know what else to use because I didn't think printing something off on the computer would look all right. So I just went ahead and did freehand. So it's definitely not perfect, but it definitely has some character. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and paint in All Is Calm. And then I'm taking these little snowflakes that I have left over from my foil tray project, and I'm just going to stick about 4 of them on there just for an added little glitter touch. And now I'm going to start gluing them on the base. So I'm just taking my hot glue gun and gluing the sides and the very top, like the front. I'm not going to glue the back because the back is actually going to hang over. So if I had another one of these little wood block thingies from Dollar Tree, I would totally use it, but I only had the one and I didn't want to go buy anything else for the project. So it is going to be hanging over a little bit on the back, but I think that's okay because once you get the lights in there, those are going to be hanging over a little bit too, so I think it looks fine. So I'm just going ahead and gluing on both of the houses, and then I'm going to put in my little trees that I got from Dollar Tree as well, and I'm just going to glue those on and then glue the last house on. So like I said, it's not perfect in the back. It is hanging over a little bit, but I think it is just fine. So I'm just kind of opening these little holes a little bit so I can add in the lights. And these are the little Dollar Tree lights. I think there's 20 of them. They don't they plug in, so there's no battery pack, but they can't be attached to anything else. But for $1, you can't beat that. So I'm just trying to put like 3 or 4 of them inside the houses, and then the 2 that were right behind the Christmas trees, I just went ahead and glued down, and then I just stuffed the remaining lights into the houses and glued the very last piece so that it'll stay intact. And I mean, this thing is pretty darn sturdy. I was impressed. All right, last but not least, I'm using these iridescent snowflakes from Hobby Lobby, and those were my splurge. They were $6.99, I want to say, or $5.99, but I used my they were 50% off. So those were definitely the most expensive part of this entire project. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint on some Mod Podge and sprinkle it with the snow. So I'm going to put it on all of the roofs, and then I'm going to put it at the very bottom, like on the little wood piece, so that it looks like there's snow on the ground. And this is what the finished product looks like. I think it looks so cute. This is how it looks with the lights off, and then this is what it looks like with the lights on, and I just think this is so stinking cute. I mean, I just love how it turned out. I did end up doing a finishing touch after the fact, and I took my Sharpie and I just kind of drew little like little pluses through the windows to make them look a little more realistic and make them look like windows. So I'm really happy with how they turned out. All right, you guys, what did you think? Did you like this DIY? I hope you guys thought it was as cute as I did. I really had fun making this one, and like I said, it's probably one of my favorites. So I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you all soon.